Welcome back to Happi Pod. We got Brandi and Billie here today. Nice enough to be our guests. So excited to learn a little bit about you guys. First actual question. How did you guys decide what name was going to come first? Because I feel like I would have been battling for that position.
That's a great question. Actually, I was like, we were talking about, I was like, I don't care.
We were asking ChatGPT which one sounds more professional, didn't we?
Yeah, because I was like, I don't care if you want to be Billie and Brandi show or Brandi and Billie show, but I think we asked ChatGPT and it said that the way that our names sound, it flows better or something.
But it turns out we should have done it the other way.
Why?
Wait, why?
Because of the Australian people. Brandi and Billie with a Y. So there's
Oh, I was like,
porno or
wait,
something?
why?
yeah.
How did I
It
get
was
it?
spot on. It's these Australian creators, Brandi with a Y and Billie with a Y.
But they're a couple.
They're a couple.
And they have the Brandi and Billie TikTok account. And
Yeah.
weren't they on like a dating show or something?
I don't know, but they also have an OS.
Oh, shit.
Oh, no.
And so
they do?
literally, yeah.
Are they still together?
I have no clue. I'm not keeping up with them at all. All I know is people are complaining constantly. We're like, hey, go find our merch. And then I've gotten like some tweets, people being like, hey, we're trying to find your merch. And then we ended up on this OnlyFans account of Brandi with a Y and Billie with a Y.
Or if you like type us in on Google, it will spell our names wrong, like the search or whatever, and it will be those people because they do have a TikTok and Instagram. They have other things too, but I think they had like relationship problems or something. And there's all this. I don't know, but I was just like, huh, okay, well,
Yeah.
maybe we'll become more relevant, and it will our searches
That's
will
what I'm
triumph
hoping for.
over the.
Hilarious.
They're going to be so mad
When you take that title
when we
from
take
them.
Brandi.
They
and
probably
Billie.
know who we are. They were like, who are these other people?
It's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys started the show. How long ago was it? When did you guys actually start your pod?
Like what, 6 weeks ago?
Holy
Yeah,
shit, that's it?
September 13th, I believe, is when we posted our first episode, but we started working on it.
No, it was like October 25th.
That was when we filmed our first episode.
Yeah, but October comes after September.
Oh my gosh, yeah. You're right.
It's like it definitely wasn't.
Wait, so when was it? November or
We
October? that you
created
posted?
our YouTube account like October 25th.
Yeah. We came up with the idea a few weeks before that.
Yeah. So Charlie Kirk got assassinated on September 10th.
Yeah.
And we were going to maybe go to that event. I had it in my calendar. Like I was going to try to go, but I had too many work meetings a day because we both work other jobs. And I knew Billie would come with me, but I had too much to do that day. So we didn't go. But when I found out that he died, I was devastated for like 2 weeks. And I would talk to Billie about it. And I was showing her Candace Owens. Do you know who Candace Owens is?
Yeah.
So I was showing her episodes about the Charlie Kirk assassination and her theories and thoughts on it. And then she spent like a week just watching everything that she missed. And you were like, we should talk about this on a podcast. And I was like, I've always wanted to do a podcast, but I didn't ever want to do it alone. So then we buy all this equipment and then we come across, then we would stay up late, like super late, like 4 a.m. watching different people on YouTube talk about the Charlie Kirk assassination. And we came across Baron Coleman, who is now one of our favorite podcasters to listen to. And he was talking about this photographer, Charles McClintock Wilson, photojournalist, who was at the event. And he thought he was a little suspicious at first because of his movements, his actions, things that he did in the crowd. And he lives in Utah and we live in Utah. So we were like, should we just find
interview him? Yeah.
And interview him? So you want to explain, you messaged him.
I messaged him at like 3 a.m. one night. And he responds the very next morning. And he's like, yeah, I'll come do an interview. So we get everything ready within 5 days. We're like, okay, so we're missing an audio interface. We're missing an extra mic. We're missing, and we get...
Didn't you drive like up north to go get the audio interface?
Yeah,
because we
it
couldn't
wouldn't
find
deliver
one
in
on
time.
on Amazon. We're like, we need this now.
Hustling.
It's because we're like, oh, this guy Baron Coleman, he's getting huge on YouTube over this. We want to kind of just take advantage of what he's asking questions about and answer his questions for him in our very first interview. The audio interface won't deliver on time through Amazon, through anywhere. There's none at Best Buy. So we found one on Facebook Marketplace, and it's literally like the audio interface that you have there, just slightly less expensive. And then drove 2 hours over to Provo, grabbed it, and we were like, okay, we're all set for tomorrow. And then we filmed the interview, got it all done, and actually I think it was November 2nd or 3rd that we released our first.
Yeah, I think we posted it in November.
Yeah.
Because we had to edit it.
Yeah, and it took us like 1 week to get everything done.
Yeah, because
we got it done so fast. We planned for weeks, but from the time our first episode was filmed to when we released it, we were set. We were all good to go.
Yeah.
That's so dope. And to anyone that like, hearing about how much work you put into it, I'm like, oh, this makes sense that you guys are doing so well with it, because it's like you put in that type of work, you put in that type of seriousness, things work out. It's like when people are like, oh, I don't have the right thing, we'll just double up on the mic, or we'll just use the cheap option, or we won't solve it like with effort. And you guys are actually getting after it. So it's sick to see that you guys, I mean, yeah, you guys have you said you posted it today, it was like 11,000, right?
I think as of this moment, it's 12.5K subscribers that we have.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit more.
We got
it's going up, like it went up 1,000 each day the last 2 days.
That's insane.
So
especially because we've had this pod for over a year, and I think we haven't even hit 150. Like we're at like.
It's also because of the people that we know now. So after our first interview, we emailed Baron Coleman.
And that was the luck part. The fact that he just shouted us out immediately. He was like, these girls are great.
Yeah, because in the email we wrote timestamps. We talk about your video that you covered in this section, and he watched the whole thing. Then on his episode that he did the next day, he showed clips of our video, which got us a bunch of subscribers. And then it made us more motivated to keep covering the Charlie Kirk investigation. We went through all of the evidence, all different things, and now we have about 13 episodes, I think, on it.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then we connected with other podcasters like Trigger Smart, Ian Carroll.
Baron, obviously.
Yeah, Baron was the first one that we did.
But why are your friends not subscribing to Happi Pod?
I don't know. I need to promote
I know
it
you
more.
have more than 150 friends. Trust me.
I need to promote it more. It's like, yeah, I haven't even posted about it for a little while.
Yeah, what can you, because I just met you like 20 minutes ago. Can you tell me why you started this podcast and like?
Yeah, just to like have good conversations with friends. I've noticed really quickly with podcasting that the conversations are usually, I would say on average, a lot better because people are more focused. They're more like in it. They're more like intentionally trying to have a good conversation. So the conversation is just better. People are less distracted on their phones and stuff when there's like lights and cameras and mics. And so it's just like the quality of conversation and just like the types of things I've gotten into in this room and just 20 something episodes. I'm like, oh yeah, this is like really good, you know? And so for me on the business side of things, the podcast is actually massively profitable because in my world, it doesn't take a lot. Like if we have one good guy added to our team, that can make good money, you know? And so I got really lucky. I had a guy come on my pod. It was episode 3. His name's Reagan Popoff. Maybe you know him, Cliff Jumper.
Sounds familiar, but don't know him. Yeah,
so he came on and we just talked for a couple hours, and then he was like, "Man, that was cool." Like da da da, and he kind of shouted us out and like posted about Happi Roofing and Happi Pod on his Instagram story, and then now we're doing business with a handful of people from his posts of him talking about my company and his experience here and me, you know? And so it's like, it's also like, you know, I've known you for how many, you know,
3-4
few years, right?
Yeah.
And it's like the pod is actually what got us to hang out, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, that's kind of why I have it and where it fits in my life is like business I really love, and it fits well with just staying connected with people, having good conversations, and then there's still like benefits because you can get plugged in with other stuff that I've got going on.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why it's like, we're already enjoying it. It's already like serving the purpose. Maybe I need to be a little more calculated because I could get a lot more out of it. That's what I've like kind of already gathered from you guys is I'm like, wow, you're putting in a lot of intention. You're like planning, like even our powwow before we came up, where you're like, all right, this is what we're gonna do. This is the plan, right? I'm like, oh, okay.
We've never not filmed a
plan.
podcast where we don't have like a full on like outline of what we're gonna talk about, like what clips we're gonna
Bullet
show.
points.
Like,
Yeah, when we
So-
were on the way over here, Brandi was like, I'm kind of nervous. Like, we don't even know what we're going to be asked.
Yeah.
And I was like, trust me, this is just a conversation.
I was like, are we gonna be like asked all these like critical things about the investigation? Like, do I need to brush up on different things? Like, what are we talking about?
No, it's pretty lax, I just like to get to know people and chat and so.
But yeah, to your
great.
point though, like, you're not trying to have a like podcast be your number one source of income, you know? It's just fun for you and it helps with your real income, which is Happi Roofing, right?
Yeah.
That's like what you
It's like a
pour all
networking
of your energy into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, that's what takes most of my time these days, and that's what I put the most into for sure is Happi Roofing. But yeah, the pod's a fun side project. You guys are definitely inspiring me to take it a little bit more serious and level up a little bit, because what you guys have done in a pretty short period of time is actually really, really cool. So yeah, props to you guys. I know you've had to you must be providing value to the viewers, obviously, right? That's why you're getting so many views and why people are watching you. And you've clearly studied this stuff a ton. So as someone that has not, who doesn't really know what is going on with Charlie Kirk, maybe you could give me and the viewer just like an outline of what's happening, who did it, and why are we fucked.
Who did do
Who
it?
did it? That's a great question. Where do we begin?
Honestly,
So
where do you
September
start?
10th, right? That was the date.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, September 10th, UVU, Charlie Kirk's doing one of his standard debate me type events.
Yep.
Gets shot in the neck. Then what? What happened?
Does
after
he
that?
get shot in the neck?
So he didn't even get shot in the neck?
I don't know if we want to go that
That's
deep
a little-
onto this one.
yeah.
Let's
Then
just go all the way deep. I want to hear all the little theories.
We haven't
and I
even
wanna-
done our episode on the other theory that we have about how he was actually killed.
from behind or from the side,
From inside the shirt, maybe.
from inside the shirt.
Yeah.
One of the above.
So, should we just kind of briefly talk about it, I guess?
Yeah, just
Should
hit
we
on
talk?
that and
Should
then
we
tell the
start
story.
with why there was even a conspiracy theory in the first place? All the weird stuff that was going on that day, the weird stuff from the days prior.
Yeah,
let's
I
dive into
I
that.
can start with the. Okay, so I'm sure you've heard the theory that maybe Israel is involved.
I have heard that theory because he was starting to go not anti-Israel, but basically
Oh, he
Not
said
so-
2 days before he died. I'm gonna put in his in for this. I need to focus.
Can I have his in as well.
Yeah.
I'm just mooching everything off of you guys.
Do you want a 6 or a 3?
Is it or
This
Three-
is 6
this is a
milligram.
I want the free spearmint.
okay, cool.
Thank you.
So 2 days before Charlie Kirk was assassinated, he texted in a group text, "I have no choice but to leave the pro-Israel cause." And backstory to that, Benjamin Netanyahu, who is the prime minister of Israel, he was going to offer Turning Point USA, in
A large
theory,
sum.
a large sum. A lot of people say it's $150 million to take Turning Point to the next level, but that's not confirmed if it was $150 million, but it was a significant amount of money. And Charlie denied that money. And then he hosted an event in Florida where Tucker Carlson spoke. And Tucker Carlson said, Jeffrey Epstein was a Mossad agent. And the Mossad is Israeli CIA, basically. And then you have Josh Hammer and Dave Smith, who are two
Israeli donors.
Jewish, well, not donors, but Dave Smith is like a comedian, but they're both Jewish, but Dave Smith is anti-Israeli government, even though he's Jewish. And Josh Hammer is like pro-Israel everything. And they had a debate, and it's pretty clear that Dave Smith won the debate. And this was at a Turning Point event. So you have Tucker Carlson kind of talking shit on Israel. You have Dave Smith kind of talking shit on Israel. The crowd's clapping. They agree. So Charlie's Israeli donors were very upset about this. And then Charlie said he wanted to bring Candace Owens to the next Turning Point event. And they were really upset about that too, because she's anti-Israeli government.
She was already anti-Israeli before all this?
I think she was getting there.
Okay.
She was getting there.
Well, yeah, once she left the Daily Wire, she kind of woke up like, okay.
Yeah. And that was just a year ago in March.
When she left the Daily Wire, was it?
Or no, yeah, January-ish. It was like 1 year ago, right?
I don't know. But talking about Candace. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Candace.
So I don't know for a fact when she left the Daily Wire and when she started her own show, but I think you're right. It was about a year ago.
1 year ago-ish, give or take.
And I think Charlie started to see the corruption going on with the Israeli government. And I just want to preface this. We don't dislike Jewish people. Some of my best friends are Jewish. It has nothing to do with Jewish people. It's the Israeli government. It's Benjamin Netanyahu. It's that Jeffrey Epstein was blackmailing our politicians so they can control our government. How much money are we sending to Israel?
$700 million every single year. 1 bill. No. 700 billion.
Yeah, it's close to $1 trillion.
Yeah. It's close to $1 trillion. I mean, between Ukraine and Israel, it's $1 trillion.
And it's just like, that's our hard-earned money.
It's a tax money.
And we're all in debt, our country is, and we can't afford this, and this, but then we're giving people in Israel all this free shit, and it's like, how is that fair? And
tiny country the size of New Jersey.
Literally the size of New Jersey.
Yeah. How many people are there? Do you guys know? Is it pretty
I don't know the exact population.
Yeah,
I'm interested. You guys pull it up?
But this is pretty crazy. So on the Patrick Bet Davis podcast.
Mm-hmm. I love that guy.
Yeah, he's a great podcast. So I think this is in 2023, right after the October 7th attacks happened. Mm-hmm. Charlie went on the show and said, I've been to Israel. Place is like a fortress. There's no way that Hamas just came in and did that. Like, he goes, was there a stand down order?
I remember seeing that actually, yeah.
And why would there be a stand down order? Because Benjamin Netanyahu was going to trial because of different crimes that he's committed. He had allegations against him for fraud and bribery and like other different things. Mm-hmm. And if there's a war, then that's not going to happen. And so Charlie was maybe thinking, did he allow this to happen so he could remain in power and not get sent to prison? Mm-hmm. And so Charlie was kind of just like, you know what? I'm over being bullied by Israeli donors. I'm over being controlled by them. And so I have
saying that he couldn't have Tucker Carlson on his show anymore. And
Candace Owens.
He wasn't allowed to have Candace Owens on his show. And he's like, hey, I'm just done. I'm done being pro-Israel. Specifically, he said word for word. What was it?
I have no choice but to leave the pro-Israel cause.
And then he never got
that was 2 days before he died. And then the day before he died, he texted Andrew Colvett, who's his executive producer / best friend. I think they are going to kill me tomorrow.
Wait. Who said that?
Charlie Kirk texted his best friend / executive producer. I think they are going to kill me tomorrow. And this is confirmed by Candace Owens, Andrew Colvett, and Erica Kirk.
What?
And he also texted a member of his security team, Dan Flood. I think they are going to kill me tomorrow.
And then he got.
And then he died the next day.
Holy shit!
Do you think he was referring to the
liberals? This is a big debate on who they is, because he didn't clarify in his text.
Specify.
He didn't clarify, or if he did, those texts are not released on purpose. They're like purposely being not released to the public, because Erica's like, we don't want to release those texts to the public, right? So she goes on a show with Candace, and she's like, oh, when he said they, you didn't see the texts, right? You didn't see the text, right? And Candace is like, no, I didn't see the texts, because she's honest.
Well, she had a screenshot of the text from Charlie to Andrew Colvett, but she didn't have which said, I think they are going to kill me tomorrow. But she did not have a screenshot of the text with Charlie and Dan Flood. And
or the
Erica,
whole conversation.
Yeah, and Erica goes, well, do you have the screenshots of the Dan Flood text messages? And she says, no. And she goes, oh, well, I do. And it says, I think the left is going to kill me tomorrow.
She checked first and then was like, okay.
I think she's making it up.
She's just pulling
I think she's like, oh, Candace doesn't have proof of this, so I'm just going to say it says the left.
Yeah.
Wait, I have a quick question. Is Erica Kirk good or bad?
Bad. I'm going to say it with no hesitation. Bad.
I think she's sketch.
I think she's so sketch. I forgot, it's such a weird... I know everyone says
well,
that.
Do you want to explain why we think she's sketch? Because Charlie had this vision for Turning Point. He was going to leave the pro-Israel cause. It's all in text messages. And now they take all of the money from the Israeli donors and they're super pro-Israel and their agenda
just
now.
Moving on.
Just completely flipped 180.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of stuff coming out about Erica day by day. And honestly, today we learned a lot about Erica Kirk.
What did we learn today?
Just there was a voice memo that went out to the entire company and Turning Point.
It was like a Zoom meeting.
It was a Zoom meeting, but the entire voice, it was internal, right? But the entire voice memo was leaked from an employee. And so today it came out and the entire audio was released. And this was 8 days after Charlie had passed. And she's like, we're doing really great, guys. We're selling merch. We are like, I'm so proud of our media team. I'm so proud of like the production team. We're all doing so wonderful. Charlie is celebrating in heaven right now.
Jeez.
And if you need to take PTO because you're still getting over this, you need to submit the PTO.
But the way she was speaking
was just
in this Zoom meeting
to
her employees, if your husband got publicly assassinated, I don't know how you would be laughing and in a good mood talking about metrics and views and money and sales of merchandise. How is that your priority?
How is that even on your mind? Like,
oh, I have no. And then all of the shit coming out about how she was in a movie where she was like an assassin and everyone in this movie was tied to this military base that her mother used to work for. And in this military base, they also like teach operatives how to pretend to be Christian to infiltrate businesses and churches. And it's like, so many people are like,
I think, we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves with like what Dallas's friends are going to understand.
Yeah, this is a lot of information. Sorry. There's just so much to talk about that it's probably too much.
Let's rewind a little bit to...
give more of the layout of... Yeah, you were on the right track. I shouldn't interrupt you.
No, yeah, you're good. What do you think? Like, as someone who doesn't know all of the information, what do you want to know?
Where does Tyler fit in? What's going on there? Is that just distraction? Is that like, was he actually, what is that?
Tyler Robinson?
Yeah, how does he play? I mean, obviously he's the killer, right? And so like, what are the holes in that? Why don't you think so?
Do you want to explain it?
Tyler Robinson, why he's involved at all, I cannot give an answer for that. I don't know what led him to be involved in this. I'm not sure if he was originally going to be the patsy or if something happened last minute and they were freaking out and things didn't go according to plan, which I can elaborate on that a little bit later. But I'm not sure how this guy got involved in anything, but we are both pretty certain that he didn't pull any trigger, that he definitely did not kill Charlie Kirk, but he took some CIA classes at his time in UVU. Was it in UVU or not UVU?
No, I think it was University of Utah or Utah State.
Yeah.
I have a theory. So he has a boyfriend, Lance Twiggs, who is known as the transgender furry guy. Mm-hmm. I mean, patsies, decoys, whatever you want to call them, have been around for years. And typically the CIA will find people committing a crime, like maybe child pornography or something. And they go, do you want to go to jail for this? Or do you want to help us out with a secret mission? And you'll take the fall for something less bad. Because, I mean, people that do child pornography and stuff in prison, they typically get murdered in prison.
Yeah, they're going to die.
Or they're like, hey, we'll let you off the hook for this if you do this for us. I need you to go drop off some clothes over here. I need you to drop off a gun over here. I need you to do this. And if you look at the photos of Tyler Robinson himself and the photos of the guy walking up the staircase in the black hat and the black shirt, that they don't release the video, which is hilarious. It's just photos because he's supposed to have a limp because he has a gun in his leg, but they never released that. So I think, we both think that he was used as the fall guy, but really it was someone else completely that killed him. It was someone else completely that jumped off the roof. How tall is that roof?
14 feet.
14 feet. And the way that Tyler Robinson lands, it's like you have to be military trained to jump from that high, land like that, run away. There's just so many factors of this that Tyler didn't do it. Like, and what did he do after he killed someone? The first person he's ever killed in his life. What did he decide to do?
He went to Dairy Queen.
He went to Dairy Queen and got food.
And then he went and got more food later at a steakhouse.
Yeah, and used his credit card. It's like, if you just killed someone, do you think you would be like, yeah, I'm going to go put my face on camera.
Starving. I have such an appetite
and
right
go
now.
eat food? Like, no.
But okay, so what I think happened was Tyler and Lance, the boyfriend, right? They were involved in some sort of Discord group chat. And Discord is known for sketchy things, I guess. And maybe they got pulled into something where they didn't necessarily know what they were getting pulled into, but they were told, hey, you want to get paid a lot of money, or hey, you want to wipe this off of your record? You need to go here, do this. You don't know what's going on. Send these texts, which this is a theory, right?
Have you seen those text messages?
I haven't seen them.
The text messages which incriminate him.
Oh wait, maybe I have. Isn't it like?
It sounds like it's from the
super
1920s.
obvious. It's like, I did it. Or something
Yeah,
like that.
it's like, and Tyler was supposed to be like an above 4.0 student. Why would you send text messages saying, I did it? I'd have enough of his hatred.
I had to leave the gun in the bushes.
Yeah.
And then I left. I hope they can't trace the gun back to my grandpa. I don't even know if there's a serial number attached to it. Ha ha ha. I'm sorry.
Like, you don't do that.
No, that sounds.
What?
Yeah.
I wouldn't even want to make a phone call.
No.
Yeah.
I would send some, like, hey, meet me over here. Like, not say anything. Like, he's not a dumbass.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay. Well, to backtrack a little bit, fun fact, I have spent a little bit of time with the murderer. And
Really?
yeah, I have. When I was 17, I interrupted a hockey game in my underwear, got arrested.
Wait, I'm sorry. Can you explain that a little bit more?
Yeah, I got my first GoPro, and I had just moved from Tennessee to Utah, and I was like, I'm gonna start making videos. I'm gonna fuck around and make funny videos, right? So I was just in this like Speedo and mullet wig and just riding my scooter around town like 17-year-old idiot trying to make funny YouTube videos. And I go over to this like ice rink, right? And I was like, oh, it'd be funny to like be riding my scooter on the ice. And then there was a game going on. So I was just like, fuck it. I'll just go on during the game. That'll make great content. And then I went to like this juvenile detention center. They arrested me, took me to this juvenile detention center. And they're like checking me in, and I'm like, all right, so like when can my parents come get me? And they're like, oh, your court date's on Tuesday. So I'm like, okay, so I come back Tuesday? They're like, no, you're here till Tuesday. And I'm like, fuck. And this was Friday. And I'm this is crazy. And then so through the weekend, I'm like fucking losing my mind, like just trying to get to Tuesday. Tuesday rolls around, and they're like, oh, we don't have all your stuff. We're gonna have to wait till next week. So then I had to wait another week. And in that time period, there was a kid named Asa who had just turned 15. He killed his two younger brothers when he was 13. Oh. He was locked up in a different unit. But then he turned 15, so he got transferred to my unit. And everyone was so scared to talk to him. But I was just like, you're telling me that dude fucking killed his brothers? Like, he's not going to do anything to me in here. Like, I'm going to talk to him and see what's going on. And like, yeah, so I was like weirdly fascinated because I was like, how often do you just get to like talk to some fucking murderer?
Yeah.
And yeah, so interestingly enough, this is what it reminded me of. After he killed his brothers, he went and saw a movie. He's like, I think like he was just so out of it, and I don't think like I've seen stuff. I don't think Tyler like I definitely think there's fucking weird shit going on there, but yeah, Asa fucking killed his brothers and then went and just like saw a movie like covered in blood still. He went out in public and just like went and saw a movie. I was like, fucking.
What was the reason he
Interesting.
killed his brothers?
I couldn't really get him to talk about it that too much. Like anytime I tried to dive into it too far, he would like shut it down. So I had to kind of like just talk about more normal stuff and drop that in every once in a while. But from what I gathered, there was a fight with him, and this is the fucking craziest part about this. Then we can get back to Charlie Kirk. But he was adopted as the oldest brother. The parents couldn't have any kids. And then I guess they made more money or whatever, or I don't know. They did IVF, and they were able to have 2 kids. Those were the 2 kids that
The angel
adopted.
babies.
Yeah, the adopted son killed the 2 blood kids. But so he got in a fight with the older of the younger 2 brothers. Killed him, stabbed him like a zillion times with this little tiny knife.
Oh my God.
And then the 2-year-old came in and saw it. And so then he was like, I don't want like the 2-year-old to grow up like having seen this. So then he just like killed him too.
Oh
Just for being like,
my God. Okay. I just literally have chills all over my body. So he clearly was mentally
he
unstable.
was fucking not right at all. Like,
But I have a question. Do you know if he had prior like mental instability throughout his whole life?
I mean, I'm sure he did. Like, that's got to be hard for any kid to like.
Especially a 13-year-old. How do you
Yeah.
catch those hints or those flags beforehand?
Yeah. Like,
Because like other serial killers have had signs growing up that they were not mentally okay, but Tyler didn't have any of those.
he had a pretty normal kind of upbringing.
Oh yeah, and he was smart as shit, and like yeah, we talked to his family.
But you can't say who.
No, we sat right behind his family, and one of his family members told us that she didn't think that he was capable of doing something like this.
That's from the family member.
Yeah, directly.
Damn. So what was the court hearing like? Was it like was it drama, or was it just kind of like order and processing?
Kind
or
of
was it
fucking
like,
bullshit, to be
It was-
honest. You can explain what
Yeah.
it was about. It was kind of dumb.
The court hearing was basically, it was 6 hours long, and it had nothing to do with the murder trial. It was, so the defense, Tyler's team, versus the prosecution, the state, right? Is the prosecution allowed to stay on this case because one of the prosecutioner's daughters was attending the event, and that should be a conflict of interest. Typically it would be. This is such a big case that they're just drawing everything out. It was 6 hours long, and they didn't even come to a conclusion at the end of the 6 hours. The end of it was basically like, can we name the prosecutioner? We know the name of the prosecutioner. We've literally said it on our podcast. We know the name of the daughter that was there, but they're trying to protect everyone for safety. They're like, oh, we know how this goes. We're going to get death threats. We don't want to name them. So they were like, we'll figure this out on February 3rd.
So it
In a
just
couple
pushed back.
weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. So literally the court case we attended had nothing to do with if Tyler was the murderer. It was just if the prosecution team should be allowed to keep being the prosecution team, because the defense is like, oh no, we need to, everyone that's involved on the prosecution team we need all new people now because there's a conflict of interest. And it's just kind of like, can we get on to what's really important? Like everyone already knows who the prosecutor is, whose child was there. Let's just move on.
Yeah. Well, it's like it's weird because it was such a big event. Like, how are you gonna not find anyone who like knew someone who was there? Like,
Yeah.
such a big event. We were just talking about like Creighton. You guys are gonna have. Do you guys already have him on, or you're gonna have him on?
No, he
would like
got
to
like
have
he
him
got
on.
like really sick the day we were supposed to interview him, so we couldn't interview him.
I think he's like sailing right now.
I'm not sure if you want this in there. I'm pretty sure Creighton believes that it was Tyler Robinson, and he may have changed his mind on whether he wants to be interviewed by us.
Well, I mean, it's
So-
still open for debate. Like, just because you don't 100% agree with everything, like still have conversations. That's kind of how you dig through it. And like him being there, I think would be a great guest. I think he would be down. He's dope. Yeah. I think
No, he
he'd be
seems
down.
really cool. Yeah.
Great, and you should go on their pod, bro, for sure.
Creighton Bard.
He's like a freaking. Wait, did you know him from prior or like how did
No, actually, Garrett. No. Donovan was like, "Hey, I know someone that was at the event. Go check out his story." And then I saw we had all of these mutual friends, and I was like, I looked at his highlight reel, which is attached to his profile, and he has all of these videos of him at the event. He's running past right after it happened. He started filming. I love when people do that. It's great for stuff like this when there's a conspiracy. Or a conspiracy theory. I hate that term because most of the time the conspiracy theory is more accurate than what the media has released.
I agree.
Absolutely.
He's running through the crowd right after the shot was taken, and there's these other standard buyers close to Creighton, and this kid's like, I don't even think that sounded real. Did that sound real to you?
No way.
Yeah, it's on his story right now.
Holy
like you can go see
shit.
that.
So it was like a muffled, different sound, which would make sense if it was
Maybe.
like some device or some fucking speaker playing the shot or like whatever it was. That's fucked. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so like one of the theories kind of is maybe he was killed by something else, but they did shoot a rifle from a rooftop at the same exact time. So people didn't just hear something small closer to Charlie, but they heard something loud enough to distract people. Like, whoa, that was a gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, from what I've seen with hunting is there's usually a pretty big gnarly exit.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like the big gnarly was kind of on the front. Like I just shot a deer on Thanksgiving. You could barely even see the entry hole, but the exit wound was like very obvious. So that's why I'm like, I always thought that was weird. It looked so weird that it was like.
Was it a 30-06?
No, it was like some fucking weird German gun. But it was like similar caliber. Like it was like a 300 caliber. So like similar diameter and, you know, whatever else is like a hunting rifle that should be pretty on par, you know. And even like shooting something with like a 22 or really any caliber, it's like the entry is usually pretty small compared to the exit. And like if he's getting shot in the neck with a hunting rifle, then there's it for sure is going to go all the way through.
Yeah.
So you know that there's no exit wound.
I mean, it doesn't. It looks like it's backwards. It looks like the exit wound is in front. From what I've seen, like I don't know.
Yeah, because there is no exit wound. There's camera footage that has been released from the back of Charlie.
And there's none.
No exit wound.
And a lot of other podcasters that we follow who are hunters, they set up tons of different things to shoot with the 30-06 from the same exact distance. And this shit explodes.
Yeah.
Like explodes. It's very powerful. And they did like thick ass bones. Am I allowed to cuss? Yeah. Okay.
You can do whatever the fuck you want.
Like thick ass bones, like even steel, and the steel like bends, and I'm sorry, a neck. I think he could have been potentially even decapitated from that type of gun. Like half of his neck should be blown off. And then this lie that Andrew Colvett said, "Oh, I talked to the surgeon, and the surgeon was so surprised. He said, oh, this type of like round should have went through a moose or two. The fact that it stopped in Charlie's neck, he's like the man of steel. It was God's miracle that this happened and he didn't kill anyone behind him." Then it comes out that I guess Andrew never said that. The doctor never said that. All of that was a lie. Candace confirmed today on her show that apparently that conversation that happened, that Erica told her, "Oh, I don't know why Andrew said that. He just went rogue." Apparently, no. She was in on that story too. So it's like, why is everyone lying?
Yeah, holy shit.
So
it all comes down to the Epstein files. Comes back to him, I should say.
I mean,
It's kind of the biggest.
the big
thing.
picture is they didn't want Charlie to leave the pro-Israel cause and expose how corrupt the Israeli government is. And that's what he was about to do. And they couldn't have that. And that's why we think that Israel is involved. Allegedly.
Does that make you guys nervous to say that? And knowing, like, assuming you're correct and assuming Israel's out here just fucking murking people who go against them and you're going against them, does that ever cross your mind?
Oh, yeah.
You guys got to get some vests or some shit. Stay strapped.
When we first started this, I was really nervous because do you know what Google Trends is?
Yeah.
Okay. So Baron Coleman introduced us to Google Trends, and so we were searching ourselves. And we had never been searched in Israel prior to
Releasing the show.
And then we were searched.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And family members and whatever. But here's my take on it. I don't think...
Can't kill us all.
Yeah, they can't kill us all. But also, I look at these much larger podcasters who are exposing stuff like this. Like, we've mentioned so many. I can think of 20 that are so much larger than us that are doing better research than us even. And I'm like, I'm not afraid for our lives. Like...
At least not yet. I don't know.
Not yet for sure. I mean, if they were going to go after someone, it would be larger people. And even if they did go after the smaller people first, there's going to be a whole other conspiracy theory. Mm-hmm. There's going to be 10 plus more podcasters who start investigating that.
100%.
So it's like,
how dumb do you want to be? Do you want to keep killing everyone and then have not everyone, a majority of people think you're suspicious as fuck. You want to keep adding that up.
On that road, yeah.
But I'm also like, okay, I'm a Christian. I know God has a plan for my life. And I have never felt more like happy and excited and felt like I had a purpose. Fulfilled's a great word. Because yeah, we've both lived great lives. We have fun. We do things, but we've never been like, we're always like, wow, we feel like we're actually making a difference and we have a purpose now. And
that's awesome. Wow.
You know what? If I know when I die, well, I don't know. I hope so. I hope I go to heaven. But I think that I'm doing God's work and exposing what really happened to Charlie and the corruption that's going on within his own company and that's within foreign governments and how they're infiltrating our governments. And some people in our government are pretending to be Christian, but they're really not. They're just puppets of Israel. It's like, okay, I know if I die, I'm going to be like, well, at least I made a difference or tried to.
Yeah.
And
I feel the exact same way.
I used to be really scared, but now I'm kind of just like, God already knows what's going to happen to us. And if we can at least do something productive and meaningful, that's great.
Absolutely. That's a really good mindset. Dang, that's really cool. So I guess what's the long-term play? Are you guys going to do you guys cover other conspiracy theories? You guys going to be
Not yet. Not yet. We're working on it. We're brainstorming.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We want to dive a little bit into maybe stuff that's happened in the past. COVID, maybe.
Yeah.
A lot of people, like when I ask you about COVID, what comes to mind?
Man, I remember, I'm just thinking about like my own life and what happened. So I started my company during COVID in 2020, and it was actually like a massive benefit for me because everybody was home. And so I was just like going around knocking doors, like pitching roofs, and everyone was home. So it kind of gave me this like launch pad. Nice. But I remember everyone being so scared. And then I even remember there was like a week where I bought into the COVID shit. And then after the week, I was like, I don't give a fuck. And then I was like, if we're going to die, then we're just going to die. Like, I think this is just like another panicking thing where it's not going to be as bad because there's always, like in 2012, the world was supposed to end. You know? And that's what I kept thinking. I was just like...
December 21st, 2012.
Yeah. I'm just like, the world's always going to end and humans are still here. Like, if I'm really like the last generation of humans, then like, all right, I'm just going to fucking try and do my best here, So there was like a week where I was like kind of nervous and was like, damn, this might get sketch. And then I was just like, nah, this is gonna like blow over. It's not gonna be that big of a deal. And then when I went out into the real world, no one actually cared that much. Like talking to people in their homes, like it really never was that big of an issue. And then I would like go to parties and stuff, and like up in Idaho, nobody cared. And I was just like, oh yeah, I guess nobody really cares that much. And then we threw a party in October of 2020 at my place in Harriman. I had like a pretty good size apartment in Harriman that could host a decent party. And because there was such a like lack of parties, this was like fucked. There was like 100 people in my apartment.
Oh, you got bad media coverage.
A line going out. Like everyone, yeah. And
People were pissed about it?
No, everybody was coming because there was nowhere to party. They were like deprived from social events, and we were the only, like we were ballsy enough to be like, there's a party, and like barely even tried to get people there, and it was just like so many fucking people.
Everyone was so over being quarantined.
Yeah.
They were like, we don't care anymore.
Yep. And then everyone got sick.
Really? Okay, but in terms of like the political aspect of COVID, people being like, probably... how dare you go outside? And
yeah, fuck that. All that like.
Or you can't see your dying grandparents because it's just like, what?
Yeah.
So they're just gonna die alone. Like, I'm not underplaying. Like, do I think COVID was like a little dramatic? What the media said, absolutely. Like, I got COVID and I was sick for 3 days. It was like a gnarly flu, but.
Yeah.
Do you want me to pause for a second?
No, I'm just taking this off. You can keep going. Sorry.
But was it as extreme as they were saying it was? No. Did children need to stay home from school and
virtual schooling?
And then they're so behind now.
Yeah.
With their education.
That whole generation skipped.
I think it was on purpose. I think that the people that want to control the world, the people, the elites, I'm not talking about our president, I'm saying the elites that really are controlling everything. They want us to be dumb. They want us to be broke. They want us to rely on the government. Mm-hmm. And it's disgusting. And they do different things like COVID to try to push their agenda. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Fun fact, Dallas, there were a few presidents in the world who would not let the COVID vaccine into their country. And all 3 of those presidents died of mysterious ways within the following year. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So that's kind of what we want to, like, we want to focus on things that happened in the past. There's always going to be another conspiracy theory down the road, like, that comes up. I mean, the Brandi shooting in Australia that just coincided with the Brown shooting, Brown University recently. If we weren't so focused on the Charlie Kirk stuff right now, we would be diving into that. There's always something to be looking into that's not what it seems, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we want to look into the Epstein files.
Yeah.
We want to look into, our shirts.
Heck yeah.
They're
go.
Do you know anything about the redacted stuff?
Yeah, how everything's redacted.
Yeah, in the Epstein files. But you can like highlight over the stuff that was redacted with your cursor and see exactly what was behind it.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, they fucked up.
They fucked up. Unless
yes. You have the opposite. Mm-hmm. No way. That's actually true. You can just see.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
You can see
is
the
it
names
on
that were
all
involved.
of them, or is it just on some of them?
It's the ones that were released like 3 weeks ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, so a whole bunch of new stuff's going to be coming out then.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of it has,
but
people, like the news outlets aren't really covering it.
They're not covering it. And also there were thousands and thousands of files that were released, and some of them are boring. A lot of it has to do with finances. So people aren't really looking into it too much because it's not like there's some super juicy tea on every single file and you have to sit there and look through them all.
Yeah. And they've released them out of order. Like, so Ian Carroll created this, is like a website, would you say an AI tool?
Yeah.
Where it put it in order and we could search a name or a subject and it would pull up different files based on what you searched. But
That's
I don't
helpful.
think he's released that yet to
Not
like
to
the
the
public.
no.
So
he's still using it himself to learn everything ahead of time.
He just wants to make sure it's legal first before actually releasing it to the public.
yeah. Sense. But yeah, we want to talk about that. We want to talk about a lot of the CIA operations, like MK Ultra, Project Mockingbird. What are some other ones that we want? There's a whole list that we have that like we're like we could do an episode on each, CIA operation that they did and how it relates to today.
Yeah. One thing I was thinking that could be cool is like, it sounds like, I mean, I know the Epstein files is kind of like low hanging fruit, I guess, when it comes to conspiracy theories, but it does seem like that was kind of what it's leading into. So maybe that could be a good pivot for you guys, because it is kind of connected still. So it's like telling the pre-story and like going down that path as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know much about those files or if you've looked at that, but
the Epstein files?
Maybe as much as you do, or maybe you know more.
I promise you, I probably don't.
Well, because like no one really knew about the Epstein files until recently because they just got released, but it's hard to go through them. And we've been so preoccupied with the Charlie Kirk assassination. And everyone's always like, when are you guys going to talk about something else? And I'm just like, is everyone bored about Charlie Kirk? And it's just like, I'm not, but
we're over it.
But I don't care. People are still hung up about JFK, and that happened in the 60s. And I think that the government and the media thinks that it's just going to get pushed to the wayside because other things are going on and we're going to get bored talking about it. And we're like, no, we're going to be the ones that keep talking about it. We want to find out what really happened. But I mean, I could talk about another conspiracy theory, like how all of a sudden our government wants to talk about aliens now, which I totally think aliens are real. But do you know what Project Bluebeam is?
No, what is it?
So Project Bluebeam is a CIA operation where they stage an alien invasion to
make everyone submit like
a one world government because it's us against the aliens. And they've always been like, oh yeah, aliens aren't real, blah, blah, blah. Now they made a whole documentary about it. Government officials are in this documentary. I love Megyn Kelly. Megyn Kelly had someone on and they were talking about this documentary and she was like, I've never really believed in aliens before, but now I do. And I'm like, why are they allowing the government to talk about it now? Is it because they want to say, hey guys, aliens are real. They're invading our world. We'll all have to come together. Everyone comply. It's us against the aliens. And it's really
stay inside to hide from the aliens.
It's really not true. Like, are they going to use drones to pretend that there's an alien invasion? Because why wouldn't the aliens have come previously?
Yeah.
I mean, there's theories that aliens are real, and I do believe they're real, but they're watching us from a distance to make sure we don't blow up our world with nukes and stuff. But are they threatening to us? I don't know. I don't have the answer to that question, but why weren't they threatening before, but now all of a sudden they are?
Yeah, now they're real, so they're kind of laying the foundation of like, hey, they're real, they're out there, we don't know. It's like, oh shit, now we got a bad one. Right, we got bad aliens that found us, so we need everyone.
Yeah, we got a bad one now.
We got to double the taxes to pay for the laser beams to shoot the aliens down.
Exactly.
Fucked. Yeah. Okay. So what can people do though? Because that's where my mind goes. It's like, all right, so we're fucked. Now what? What do we do? How can we push back? Fight.
I think about this every single day.
How can we fix
for
it?
everything, right? It's like, oh, the Charlie Kirk stuff happened. Clearly, more information that hasn't been released is what happened in order for the Charlie Kirk assassination to happen. It's not just what they're saying. Like, we know that. We know about the JFK stuff. We know about all of this stuff. It's like, what can we do? That's a great question.
I think
honestly.
just talk about it and educate
people. I don't
people.
think so. I don't think that talking about it is really doing anything because people have been talking about it for so long. And I'm like, do protests make a difference? If we got a bunch of people to come stand outside of the court hearing when Tyler Robinson is being acquitted, or accused, is that going to make a difference? Because talking about it doesn't make a difference.
I think talking about it makes a difference in a way where it's not the world is being, the world is educated. Like, if people actually listen to what we're saying and enough people talk about it, then we're not going to fall for their tricks. Like, I don't think anyone would fall for another COVID scare. People be like, all right,
it'd be
you guys made this seem like a huge fucking deal, and it wasn't as big of a deal as you said it was going to be. And you controlled us, you vaccinated us. People are dying from myocarditis. Is that how you say it? the heart disease that
Yeah.
people that got from the COVID shot and things like that. It's just, I think talking about it absolutely does make a difference because you wake people up to the corruption going on in the government. But can we actually legally change any laws? No, we can only do that if we elect someone as president or someone that's in charge of something that is going to stand up against this. But it's been very disappointing. I have to say, I voted for Donald Trump 3 times. I was part of the Arizona Young Republicans group. I've been very, very Republican my whole life. Now I would say I'm America first. That's what I would say my political party is.
I like that.
I would never vote for a Democrat. I just would never. I don't agree with a lot of their thinking and their morals and values. I have friends that are Democrats, love them, but politically, no. Like I would never vote for Gavin Newsom. If it was Gavin Newsom and JD Vance, I would never vote for Gavin Newsom. I think he's evil as shit.
Yeah, that guy's scary.
But do I want to vote for a Republican president that's Israel first and is not America first? No. So it just depends on who's in power. But I think the elites are so controlling and they have so much power that they wouldn't even let someone that was America first get elected. So I'm like, are we just fucked forever? I don't know.
Interesting. Well, I think you're definitely onto something with spreading awareness to help people avoid the pitfalls in the future, right? Like there is a certain element of being educated and aware in your own life. And then I would say personally, if I was to answer the young question, would be like really just, they say like fix your house first type of thing. And it's like, if your stuff really is in order and like you can do well and accumulate some resources and put them in smart places and create some sovereignty for yourself, get some chickens, get some gold, get some guns type of thing. I think that also makes humans and Americans really resilient is like having control over like, your food and your safety. I think that's really important for people to like think about and be aware of is like, yeah, our systems and government and everything might not work forever. So you should try and like that prepper mindset.
Become a little bit independent.
Yeah, try and create as much independency as you can,
Yeah. Don't rely on the government for everything.
Yeah.
And that's so hard for Americans to do that live in like rural cities that are just, is that the right term or is that the opposite term?
Like cities? You mean like
Yeah, like New
populated
York
cities?
City, Boston,
Yeah.
things like that. People that can't have chickens and
No, yeah.
it's hard for people
Yeah.
like that.
And that's such a huge portion of the country.
Yeah, and it's like I would love to have a farm and have goats and chickens and cows, but I can't afford that. I can't buy a farm right now.
Podcast keeps growing the way it's growing. You get this Alp sponsorship from Tucker Carlson. You guys might be ripping some farm property here soon.
I would love to, but it's just not realistic for the everyday American. Also, homeschooling. Candace Owens homeschools her kids. A lot of people do. I would love to homeschool my kids when I have kids one day, but is that realistic for everyone? No. And then you have the schools indoctrinating children and teaching them about things that their parents don't want them to learn about, or like the whole transgender thing when that was a huge thing a few years ago. And, teachers were not telling parents when their own children were saying, oh, I want to be transgender because they didn't fit in school and they thought it was cool. And the teachers would push that agenda and let them like change in the closet and then change before their parents picked them up. That is so fucked up to not tell the parents, oh, we're doing this to your child when you're not here and you're not aware of it. Like that is messed up.
Yeah, that's really messed up. Wow. Yeah, I think you're right. Like everybody kind of does have a different formula of what they can do. And it's like if you can do like the ideal stuff, great. If not, then yeah, dive in on the things that you can do. Like I think what you guys are doing is honestly awesome. Like you're spreading more awareness to me. You're making me think, and it's like I already think I'm pretty decent at avoiding shit like that, but like as long as I'm staying up to date and at least having the awareness of it, then I think it helps me navigate, it helps me think. Like also I think if you have kind of tabs on how things are going, then your mind does kind of think about other options. Like you guys have traveled a lot, right? Both of you guys. You guys said you met in Portugal?
Yeah.
Yeah, we met at McDonald's in Lisbon, Portugal at 4 a.m.
That's sick. That's super
Yeah.
sick. So would you guys ever move out of the U.S. if you got to the point where you're like, I want to go somewhere else?
I don't know what country I'd want to move to. No, I don't think so.
No. It's like a project, right?
Yeah,
Gotta
like I
work
love
on it.
America. I'm American. I want to fix America. I don't want to run away.
That's
from
just
the
giving up
problems.
at that point.
Yeah, I think so. Like, you know, that kind of brings my mind to the whole like immigration stuff. Like when the most ambitious, like people who want to win, want to leave, that's kind of rough for the country. When you're having the most driven people who are just willing to do whatever it takes to succeed to the point where they're literally willing to walk across continents and like do that. It's like, man, if those people just took that massive effort and that energy and that brain power and those resources and applied them to helping their own country, then rather than bailing on it, you know,
Yeah.
probably could make a difference. Because, yeah, I mean, I would say we are definitely ran by elites, but we also outnumber them big time. So it's like, there's limitations, you know, And so I think spreading awareness is definitely really good.
Yeah, because if everyone just leaves, then America's going to go to shit. And we are the most powerful country, I think.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and if all of the good people leave, then it's just like the whole world's going to go to shit.
Yeah, for real. That honestly is true, because like so many good things, like so many modern technology, like basically all of our modern technology. Like whenever someone's like, what culture does America have? I'm like, you see your cell phone? Like you see the internet, your car, airplanes, like what exists that isn't American culture? Like you travel the world and what are they playing? American music, and they know all the American movies. And it's like culture is American, like globally, basically, you know? Like, yeah, I love the U.S. and that always drives me nuts when people are like, what culture does America have? I'm like, bro, you don't even know. America has such good, rich culture. Like, it's so globally recognized, it's not even funny.
Oh, absolutely. When I went to Portugal, I went with my friend Marcy, and then we met Billie there, but we were bouncing around Portugal, and everyone that I met, they were from Wales or London or from Portugal or wherever country, they all knew about our American politics and they all had an opinion about it. And it's so interesting because I don't know about like Portuguese politics or like I've never
the
even
entire world keeps
I've never they told because they're like, you guys control the world, like whatever America is. Like when Charlie Kirk died, there were tons of marches and things for Charlie Kirk because in different countries because he meant something to everyone in the world. Not everyone in the world, but there was multiple thousands of people in every country you could find that he affected. And that's not normal, you know, for other countries to affect America in that way.
Yeah, that's true.
So America is definitely very, very relevant on a global scale.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, the U.S. dollar is like, I guess not technically, but like basically the global reserve currency. Like everything's pretty pinned to it, and then
everyone speaks English.
Everyone's speaking English
For the most part. I mean,
it's like very common
yeah.
for people's second language or first language to be English.
Yeah.
But as far as the U.S. dollar, in my opinion, that is the main mechanism. Is the U.S. dollar, our like money system? That's what they use to extract the most from everyone.
All the currencies revolve around the dollar.
Yeah, and we're all working for it, but they can just print it from nothing. So it's like we're effectively slaves in that system. So I think my opinion on the U.S. dollar, that's a whole like, not even conspiracy theory, it's just like mathematics, how everything runs. Like that's fucked. How we all work for it, say that we have to like constantly think and plan and strategize and take risk to like preserve the value we're creating with our lives. But good money should just do that automatically. Like gold or, you know, all these currencies that humans built civilization with. Just to get on a little side tangent, because I'm obviously very interested in finance and dollars and how that shit works. But if you look at like most of the progress from humanity, it came when the US was on the gold standard. And then basically around the 70s, it was like technology almost came to like a halt. It was like at the beginning of like the 1900s, we were like using cars and buggies. And then like by the end of the 60s, we're on the moon. Apparently, I don't know, maybe I don't think that, but right? We have like planes and rockets and cars and the internet and phones and like all this stuff. I guess not the internet in the 70s. Well, actually, I think it existed, but wasn't like common. But anyways, and then we got taken off the gold standard. We basically made it to where the government could just make up the money, but the value is
1913.
What's that?
1913.
Was it
when the Federal
1913?
Reserve was created.
And then it was in the 70s they took us off the gold standard. Yeah. So in the 70s is where they took us off the gold standard, so then the dollars were no longer backed by gold, so they could basically just make up however many dollars they want, right? So it's like that value isn't just being created, it's basically being little bits are taken from everybody who uses that system. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, anyways, that I think is the most fucked thing about where we're at, is the fact that the money that everyone uses at a whole global level, there's a group of people that can just make up those numbers and just create it from literally zero. And then the other 8 billion people have to work and have to like provide the value, create the value for them to extract from. So buy Bitcoin, ladies and gentlemen.
Right?
Yeah, because they just print money. They just make it up out of thin air.
Yeah, just on a computer.
I don't really fully understand how they can do that. And
it's mainly through loans. So most new money now is
because we're like trillions of dollars in debt, America.
Yeah,
because we're printing money.
Printing money. Yep. Signing up for expenses, signing up for programs, like we just have all this debt and they're just basically solving it by printing more money. And the other thing that's fucked about being able to print money is back in the day, before they were able to print money, they would have to raise money for war, right? Now, they don't have to raise any money for war. They just print the money for war. So it's like, not only can they print the money and extract little bits of value from everybody who's earning it, but what are they spending that money on? Just like war, conquering places, like taking like control. You know, it's not like they're taking the money and doing anything positive with it.
Well, this is so funny because we were just looking at the Titanic conspiracy just last night, and World War I, 1914, correct?
Sounds about right.
So 1912 or 1913, that's when the Federal Reserve was created, and the Federal Reserve was used to back World War I, and that was the first war at all, but also a huge war that was used by printed money, by fake money that's like not been earned yet, right? And the Titanic conspiracy, which I haven't like dug deep into this yet, but it all boils down to there were multiple billionaires that were against the Federal Reserve being created, and they all went on the Titanic and they all died from the Titanic, and it's a huge conspiracy which I would love to actually learn more about. But JP Morgan was one of the people who was supposed to go on the Titanic and then backed out last minute, and then he ended up being a huge part of the Federal Reserve being created, and Rockefeller Associates and whatnot, and it's just all of this stuff happening within the span of 1910 to like 1914, and then the people who would have gone against the Federal Reserve's creation all died at the Titanic.
That's fucking crazy. I mean, it makes sense. Like, if you're multi-billionaire and like you have all this power and you can make shit like that happen, and someone's threatening your power and your position, it makes sense that people that have that type of power would use it and that they would come up with those types of strategies. It's like, it would surprise me if people at the highest level were not having these like secret fucking battles. And what blows my mind is that those people that are just take whatever the normal media talking point, whatever the written story is, every single time. They don't even think for a second like, I don't think that makes sense, or I don't think that would
Well, people don't want to think that the government is against them. People don't want to think that the government has this amount of power because that hurts. It like hurts.
That's scary.
It's like I don't want to admit that. I don't want to admit that to myself because I'm gonna be sad.
Yeah, it's true.
Especially like, I don't know, like older people, like our parents' age, and they've believed pretty much what the government has been saying for their whole lives. I mean, obviously they're against, like my family's against like the Democrats or whatever and their agenda, but you don't want to believe that even the people that you think are the good guys that are elected like have any nefarious motives. But sometimes they're just not sometimes they're puppets. They're just doing what they're told to be doing because the media is controlled by a certain amount of companies that are huge companies. That do you think they're going to allow Fox News to say something that's going to go against their agenda? No.
Not if they own it, not if they have a say in it. Then they're going to obviously protect their.
So we don't really ever get the full truth. But now you have podcasters and people that do research, and they're the ones exposing the real truth. Oh, and then we get labeled as conspiracy theorists. But it's like, follow the money, like Ian Carroll likes to say. It's just, when you start looking into it, you're like, all right, everyone in power isn't really that good.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's a crazy world we live in.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. You said you're Christian.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe in God?
Yeah. I've always believed in God. I never grew up in any religion, though. Mm-hmm. I wasn't raised in Christianity or any specific religion, which I actually really like because then I can just believe in God without having to be associated with any type of religion because, I don't know, they all have negative connotations when it comes to like organized religion.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I'm not part of any organized religion, just personal relationship type thing. Yeah. But I would say maybe, like, I was raised Mormon. So yeah, I went to like Mormon church until I was like 12 or something like that, and then like would randomly occasionally go, and then in the last like 10, 12, 15 years, something like that, I've just, honestly, I went through a couple years where I didn't really believe in anything, and then came back around and was like, okay, there's definitely something, like, and then kind of just started going deeper down that path. Have you been Christian your whole life?
Yeah. I was born and raised as a Christian. I've never not believed in God. My parents told me about God, and I've always just thought that he was real. And I never really questioned it because I've always like felt a relationship with God. Especially my cousin died in a car accident when he was 16 with my uncle as well. And I had this crazy experience. Like, I was so devastated the night that I found out that he died.
And it's more like your brother.
Yeah, we went to the same high school together. Like, I saw him every single day. Like, my family's this big Italian family. We're very, very close. And my dad, the night that him and my uncle died, my dad was like, okay, we're going to go to Aunt Debbie's house. That's his mom. She just lost her husband and her firstborn son. And my dad was like, do you want to come with me in the car? We're going to go to Debbie's house. And I was like, no, I need to be alone. I'm just going to drive my car to Debbie's house. And the whole way there, I was just crying and talking to my cousin, Nick, who died. Because we were so close. And I was just like, if you're in heaven, like, I just want you to, like, give me a sign that you're okay. And, like, parked down the street from her house. And I was the only one in the car. There was no one by my car. And all of a sudden, I feel a breeze. And the passenger side, the back door, not the one next to me, but the one this way, was wide open after I parked the car. And no one opened the car door. I know that sounds crazy. I swear it happened. And it was like my cousin telling me, hey, I'm in the car with you. I was here the whole way here. And I'm letting you know, like, you need to go inside and be with our family. Like, I'm okay. Wow. And I don't know. My Aunt Debbie is an amazing human. And she's written books about this, like Kisses from Heaven, like just little signs that she's gotten. Wow. That her husband and her child are in heaven. And I don't know, just throughout my life, like different things, like I just pray and rely on God, and I totally believe that God is real.
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. That's a really cool story to have that experience.
And I think it's really sad when people don't believe in something after death. It's like you think you just live your life and then you're just go to sleep after that and it's done. Like, no, I think that people that are good people, there's something for them after death.
Yeah, I agree. And I saw something the other day that it was like everybody has their like religion, like belief that they like attach themselves to. And it's like when people don't channel that in some sort of spiritual way, then it becomes like it comes out in other ways where like you still your identity is like this and you'll fight to the death for like protecting whatever it is. And then it becomes like these ideologies that people like become overly obsessed with and like attach themselves to as like this is truth and this is what it is. And it's like there's those people that have that outlet through like spirituality and more like traditional routes of just trying to connect with God or higher power. And then there's people that are just like have these personalities and whatever obsession side stuff that you can think of.
Yeah, like nihilism. Do you know what that is?
No, what is that?
Nihilism it's basically like atheists would fall into this category. Maybe some people who are agnostic, which is when, I'm sure you know what agnostic
just like,
when you're like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But nihilism is when you're like, oh, nothing matters anyway. Like none of this matters, and so what I'm doing right now doesn't matter. What I'm doing tomorrow won't matter. Nothing matters. That's basically what nihilism is. And if you're living as with that point of view, then what you're doing today doesn't matter. Tomorrow won't matter, and it's just sad to think about that.
Yeah,
Like, what's the point of life and being a good person?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be such a sad way to live life. I can kind of relate to it because for there a couple of years I was like, yeah, I think I'm just supposed to have fun, I guess. Like, I don't know, you know?
And what you were doing in those years probably wasn't benefiting you to where you are now.
No, for sure it wasn't. It was just like very short term, temporary, just like fucking off, you know, just like doing whatever. And then it was like after that I'm like starting to find a bigger purpose and like actually finding more things that I can do to provide value to the world. And then like you feel so much more fulfillment in that.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw something the other day. It was like there's levels to, I'm gonna butcher it, but it was like you get your fulfillment and like there's different levels of people that will work towards things, and when they need to see the outcome is determined to like, I guess, their life fulfillment. So for a lot of people, they do something today, they need to see the result today. Mm-hmm. And then there's other people who are willing to do stuff for a little while and wait a week or a month before they really see the result.
Instant gratification versus delayed gratification.
Yes. And it like explained this whole like scale of it. And it was like, then there's people that wait years and then decades. And then there's the person that will work their whole life on something and be okay if they never see the result. That's like people who are like planting trees when they're like 80. You know, it's like you're gonna just see like a little sprout. You don't really, what's the point of all this work? You
it's
know
like
what
investing.
I mean? Yeah, it's like investing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Planning for the long term. And it was like saying how those different mindsets lead to different levels of fulfillment. It's like if you can do those things that are just be super long term, then that's where you're actually going to find the most fulfillment in life, because those are where you can do the biggest things. And it's like, yeah, if you don't think anything matters, if you don't think the next generation matters, if you don't think the people around you, like, what are you gonna do with your life besides just like fuck off
fun.
or have fun or like hurt other people? You know, it's like, are you really gonna have the perspective of being able to like help people, connect with people, and like make the world a better place? You know, and get the fulfillment that comes with that.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then when you live like that, you're just not going to be happy because you're not going to be surrounded by the people who care either.
Yeah.
Like,
you are who you hang out with.
Community is so important as well.
100%.
My dad's always said that. You are who you surround yourself with. Birds of a feather flock together.
100%.
It's so true though.
Yeah.
It's like podcasting with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys have gotten really well connected in the pod world, though. Yeah. Do you have anybody else coming up? Anybody on the horizon? Any
Let's see. We have someone who has about the same size YouTube channel that we have. He's gonna come for for Tyler Robinson's next hearing.
Oh, okay.
He's gonna be outside the courtroom with us, inside the courtroom with us, whatever. Analyze some stuff. Maybe we'll talk to Tyler Robinson's family again, hopefully. But he's pretty big on X. His name's Blake Bednarz. And then,
Dope.
I mean, we got pretty connected with Ian Carroll. We're going to be visiting him again in the next couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
We're close with Barry and Coleman.
Candace is on the list, but...
Yeah, I haven't met her yet.
Yeah.
But...
You're like connected to her network though, right?
Oh yeah. We're a second connection away from Candace in multiple different paths.
Yeah. Well, I feel like the trajectory you guys are on and like how you're approaching it, like that's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're like not doing it for selfish reasons. Like we didn't know this was gonna blow up this much.
We did not expect it to. We expected actually the opposite.
Yeah. We were more starting this podcast for our friends and family that weren't aware of all the other scenarios in this case. So it's like, okay, no, just don't believe the mainstream. Oh, it's Tyler Robinson. We're like, no, we want to dive deeper on this to educate our friends and family. And then when it started to get more popular, we're like, wow, we can actually spread awareness to the world, like anyone who wants to listen to us. And so that's why we spend so much time on it. Like we work our normal jobs and then we'll stay up till like 3 a.m. sometimes doing research and writing our next podcast and getting everything in order. And it's because we have such a passion for it and because we think it's so important.
Mm-hmm.
We just want to educate people. It's like to wake up
Yeah, that's
to what's
awesome.
really going on, you know?
I think the passion is very apparent. Yeah, you guys are crushing it. How often do you guys upload?
We try to at least once per week.
Yeah.
Once a
Sometimes
week.
it's twice a week. If we're traveling, maybe it's like once every week and a half.
Yeah.
Nice.
We
So we
haven't gone 2 weeks total without uploading something.
Yeah. Or like we do like YouTube shorts and stuff and we post stuff like on our Instagram and TikTok and stuff. But yeah.
You guys post on X?
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah. That's like our smallest platform right now for the Brandi and Billie show. It has like 500 followers.
Nice.
It's just a lot.
It's a lot to keep up. 2 people
Yeah.
covering their personal social media, which we kind of both gave up on,
Yeah.
along with like the Brandi and Billie show. We have X, we have Reddit, we have everything that you can think of. We even have Rumble now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Just in
Yeah.
case.
Just in case.
You never know what's going to happen with YouTube.
Yeah. So it's a lot to manage and then planning episodes, filming them, having them edited, watching the first edited draft, making changes, doing it. It's just, yeah. Plus doing our normal jobs.
I mean, I don't like to say what I do for work on the podcast because I don't want to combine the two worlds.
Mm-hmm.
But I work in corporate something. There we go.
Mysterious.
Yeah.
Hidden secret job. She's in on it. She's
I work
CIA.
45 hours
She-
a week.
The
She's
fact you just
CIA.
said that is so funny. We get so many comments that are like, these girls they're feds. And I'm like,
How would we be
are we
feds?
feds? We're going against the government narrative.
Industry plants.
My favorite comeback to that is like, yeah, Charlie Kirk from Heaven hired us.
Yeah. People are like, oh, they're Charlie's Angels. I'm like, yeah, we are spies. We're Charlie's Angels. Those are one of my favorite movies growing up. I've always wanted to be a spy, but I'm not a spy. I just think they're badass. But if they were good,
That's true.
we're
When they
good
go to-
spies.
When they go to other
We're
countries.
spies not working for the CIA. We're Charlie's Angels.
It's true. You guys kind of are spies. They're gathering information, data,
Yeah, we go to the hearings.
sharing it.
We look at everyone there.
We have gone undercover before, kind of.
Really?
A little bit.
Well,
Nothing came of it.
no. When we went to Tennessee, we tried to. I don't know. What
We haven't dove into that conspiracy. So
We're going to on our next filmed episode, but maybe we won't talk about that.
we
yet.
can. I feel like we should tell Dallas. But do you want to say what you do for work?
Oh, yeah.
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 I work for my family's construction company.
Oh, sick.
I'm in project management.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's dope. What type of construction do they do?
We do glazing, like high-rise commercial glass buildings.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
Nice.
But my dad's very supportive of
The podcast.
what I want to do because I love my job. But am I like super passionate about, like I want to do this for the rest of my life. No, I didn't really get into politics until I was maybe 23, 24. So growing up, my dad would always pick me up from swimming practice or diving practice and be like, hey, Dad, can you turn on top 20? And he'd be like, no, we're going to listen to this. And it'd be like Bill O'Reilly. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, my sisters and I were like, we don't want to listen to this. And he's like, it's important. You need to listen to this. And I didn't really understand how important politics and everything going on in the world was until I was in my early to mid 20s. Mm-hmm. And
Brandi looks like she's 24 right now. So it sounds like she just said she just got into politics, but Brandi's 31.
I'm 31.
You look like 24, yeah.
But thanks, guys.
Good.
I just wanted to clarify because you're like, I only got into politics just when I was 24. What, 5 weeks ago?
Yeah.
That's so kind. But yeah, so I would listen to 6 different political podcasts a day and was just always wanting to talk about it with my friends. A lot of my friends just like, weren't interested in that at all. And I'm just like, I wish I could just
I was one of
talk
those.
about this some way. But yeah, then started the podcast recently, but I still have my corporate job. I like it a lot, but eventually I hope that we can do this
full time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, are you guys selling the merch?
Mm-hmm. Not this specifically, not the Brandi and Billie.
Is the
shirts.
allegedly hats? Are those your guys's?
Yeah, these ones we sold a few today.
Oh, sick.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we have a few different merch pieces on our website that just randomly, we unexpectedly got shouted out on a much larger channel yesterday and today.
Sick.
And so now we're like scrambling all day today, figuring out the payment platforms for the merch. And
yeah,
so
selling
cool.
merch is a lot more difficult than you would think.
Yeah, it's...
And you don't profit it at all.
Really?
No.
like $1.20.
Those prices.
But we feel bad though, like making people buy a hat for...
Well, they want to support it, and it puts you closer to the, being able to transition over to it. So that's what I was going to say is like, if you can attach a business to it, or you have a product or a service, then it's like, that's what I've seen people turn their media stuff into income,
Yeah.
It's like if you have the merch sales, like the fact that you guys already have that set up is actually dope.
Yeah.
I want to get a hat. Those are cool.
Like the allegedly?
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone loves these.
Funny.
They're like, is your podcast called Allegedly? And we're like, no. We just say it a lot so we don't get sued.
Yeah. Allegedly. I've noticed that.
Allegedly.
Yeah,
Allegedly, we're on the Happi Pod right now.
Yes, this may not be true. This is actually AI generated. This is all for entertainment purposes only. Like, nobody sue us. We're just talking. No, I really appreciate you guys coming all the way out. I know it's not like a quick jaunt. It's a bit of a trip to get out here. Where'd you guys come from?
We live like downtown Salt Lake City.
30 minutes.
Oh, fuck yeah. Do you guys live together?
Sort of.
Kind of. Not technically.
I also rent downtown, but I'm at Brandi's house every single day. I sleep at Brandi's house every single day. We will stay up until 3. She said 3 in the morning, but sometimes it's even 5 in the morning, and then I'll go to work at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
You guys are just straight besties.
Yeah.
Hey, how long is the friendship? How long you guys know each other? When was Portugal?
July 2024 was Portugal.
Was it 2024?
Yeah.
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 Oh, yeah.
July 2024. Yeah. We met at McDonald's in Portugal, and I was behind her in line, and I overheard her talking to someone saying, yeah, I live in Salt Lake City. And I was
blackout drunk. I don't remember this, so I don't actually remember meeting Brandi.
I was going to say that, but if you want to say that, it's
Yeah,
fine.
sorry.
But, yeah, so I tapped her on the shoulder, and I was like, did you say you live in Salt Lake City? And she was like, yeah. I was like, I'm moving there in 2 months. Like, let's be friends. So I got her Instagram, and then we went our separate ways. And then I moved to Utah with my friend Marcy and messaged her and was like, hey, I moved to Salt Lake City. And she didn't really remember who I was or meeting me, but she was like, well, I guess I follow her, so I don't know. So she came over to my house. We ended up going out and meeting a bunch of people that we're friends with today, but just so random. It's like another God thing. It's like, how did I meet Billie in a different country at McDonald's at 4 a.m. and now we have this podcast.
Yeah.
Like, what?
You guys were just like
it's just like a God was like, okay. And this is so weird. So I remember Marcy and I were so hungry and we were like trying to find a place to eat. And like we went to another McDonald's. It was closed. So we had to go to a different one. And then you happened to be at that one. It's just like, what?
wow.
And also, before I went to that McDonald's, towards the beginning of the night, it was a Tuesday or something in Portugal, in Lisbon, Portugal. And clubs are popping on a Tuesday in Lisbon, apparently. But I think, if my memory serves me correctly, I had met someone else from Salt Lake City at the club earlier in the night. And it was this girl who was really kind of awkward. And I was not striking up conversation with her at all. I was like, oh, you're from Salt Lake City? Cool. Like, where do you live in Salt Lake City? Who do you know? She was just like very awkward. And so I thought that this Instagram girl, who's also from Salt Lake City, was that girl from the club. So I walked into Brandi's house being like, yeah, we met in the club, right? I was not expecting much. I was bored that night.
And I was so surprised after how you explained that, like that you even came over to my house because you thought I was that girl. I was like, no, I'm not awkward.
Least awkward person in the world. But yeah, I was not expecting much. And I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. I'll go over and hang out with them and see what the vibe is. And I was like, you are not who I was expecting you to be at all. This is so much fun. And we were just immediate friends.
That's amazing.
Oh, and then I found out that she also liked nicotine pouches because I saw them in her pocket. And we both have the same birthday, March 4th. I was like, what? How weird.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
So you guys like celebrating birthdays together now?
Yeah, we did last year.
Yeah.
We probably will again this year.
Nice.
Yeah.
But Brandi, my interpretation of Brandi in terms of politics was every time we would go out, she would start talking about politics. And then I'd be like, okay, I'm going to go find something else to do or someone else to talk to right now. Because I was never had an interest in politics my entire life, really. I was never a kid participating in politics either.
But my adult life, my child life, oh yeah.
I was obsessed.
But I would, and Brandi's just one example, but anytime a political conversation would happen, I would avoid it intentionally because I was like, I can't really contribute anything to this conversation, so why am I going to participate in it? I'm not going to, so I'm going to walk the other way, find someone else to talk to. And then after the Charlie Kirk assassination, that's when Brandi was really sad. She was really sad. She like canceled events that she was going to go to. She was devastated. She was crying. I was like, okay, let me go hang out with Brandi. We're going to like watch some podcasts, whatever. And then I got really into it. Mm-hmm. We were watching Candace Owens and I was like, whoa, who's this Candace Owens girl, by the way? Like, I didn't know who anyone was.
Wow.
I did not know who Candace Owens was. I didn't know who Charlie Kirk was. I didn't know who any of these people were. And I got just so invested in it that I spent 12 hours one day just listening to podcasts and like catching up, basically.
Yeah.
And then 8 hours the following days. I was just spent an entire week listening to them. And then we were like, let's start this. Let's do this.
Let's buy some cameras and videotapes ourselves like talking about it, you know?
And we did.
See where it goes.
Nice.
Yeah.
And look at you guys, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I would have never thought that in 6 weeks-ish that this would, even like a month into it, like, yeah, how it took off. It's
I remember
crazy.
sitting down with you and we were like, okay, we're spending a lot of money right now. We cannot expect to see this money back for at least 6 months to a year. And we still haven't seen the money back, but
but we're close.
We're
Somewhat close.
We're getting there. We're making money back for what we spent.
But we were like,
But
let's at least do 20 episodes before we're like, okay, this is a waste of time. Because it takes people like a year to blow up or more on YouTube. Yeah. Not saying that we like blew up huge, but like it's been pretty consistent. So, but I think it's God like helping us because we're doing something that's meaningful, that's important, that's for a bigger purpose.
Yeah, spreading awareness about corruption so people have more awareness.
Yeah.
I'd say that's a very worthwhile cause. Yeah, I mean, clearly you've got something helping you to, maybe I need to reevaluate what my podcast is.
Yeah, like what's your goal? Like
with podcasting?
I honestly haven't watched any of your episodes. We watched a little bit of here
Creighton.
with Creighton. Yeah.
Yeah, the goal, I guess, with the podcast, I want to have 100 episodes. That's kind of like my first big
I saw
goal.
that up there.
Oh, yeah.
How many do you have right now?
I think we're on like 23, 24, so we're like a quarter of the way through.
That's awesome, though. That's great.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch more. Billie told me like the other day, oh, we're going to go on my friend's podcast. And I was like, well, what's it about? What are we going to talk about? Do I need to research? I was like getting anxiety. I'm like, what are we? Oh my God. I was like, we need to watch some of it today before we go on. And I was like, oh no, he's chill as fuck. I was like, okay, I'm less anxious now.
Yeah, it's pretty lax over here on the Happi Pod, you know. But yeah, I just want to have more episodes. Like, that's it. You know, just keep it going. Just keep it alive. Like, longevity is the only thing I really care about. Is like, once I get to 100, then I'll probably make it 1,000. Like, I'd like to get to 1,000 episodes, you know. And it's like, if I can look back and have 1,000 recorded conversations with people that I was interested in,
Yeah.
that's dope. And like, plus, I don't know if my grandpa had 1,000 conversations recorded that I could learn from. It's like,
Yeah.
that's dope, you know? So, yeah, I mean, as far as the business side, like, I get that. That's all, you know, like you said, focused with pretty much with Happi Roofing, but it still is something that's beneficial. You know, it still is something that fuels the main thing. So, yeah, we're just going to keep recording episodes, and, like, we got the room set up now, so there's no turning back.
You're kind of like Joe Rogan in a way where you kind of don't have a specific type of person you're trying to interview. You're just kind of, I'm going to talk to whoever if they're interesting to me.
Yeah, 100%. I would say you guys are probably the, like, the common theme has been, like, action sports and, like, business people, you know? So it's, like, it's kind of fun to get some variety and be like, all right, what would you guys are, like, conspiracy podcasters, would you say?
I hate that word so much.
No. What would you call yourselves then?
But yes, yeah.
I don't know how, like, political / conspiracy.
Yeah.
Like a political pod.
I just
Yeah.
hate the connotation behind the word conspiracy.
Yeah, because it's like...
Because it's like, it's not
true.
a conspiracy, it's true.
Yeah, it's like the actual root of what's going on.
But, like, eventually when the midterms roll around, we're going to cover that and things like that and our opinions on it. And so, yeah, I would say it's a political / world news / conspiracy.
But for beginners, maybe.
Yes. So one of our favorite comments that we've gotten from someone was, like, thank you for summarizing this in a way that's easy to understand. Because a lot of, like, Candace Owens' episodes about
You have to have already been watching
Yeah.
to
You have to,
understand.
like, keep up.
In other words, thank you for dumbing this down.
kind of, yeah. Basically, they're like, it
Because,
makes
like-
it easier to understand. Because it's like, we have to listen, or when I would take notes on podcasts, I would have to listen to them maybe twice and take notes because I wanted to make sure I got everything completely accurate. And then how can I explain this to people like my sisters? Not that they're dumb, they're smart, but just people that don't keep up with politics as much. How can I explain this in a way that's going to make sense to people, that's going to keep their interest, where it's not just all this, like, all these
Mumbo
facts
jumbo.
that they're like, okay, I don't understand this
And
at all.
then they start tuning out. And
It's like too technical.
Yeah. So kind of just taking something complicated, dumbing it down in a way for for it just to be more enjoyable to watch, I guess. So, yeah.
Well, that actually reminds me, I guess, when you guys say to simplify it, because I don't know if we have had your guys' combined simplified theory of what has actually the real story with Charlie Kirk. Do you guys have like this is what I think the real story is, these are the steps, and this is what happened? Do you guys have that, or is it like, this isn't right, but I don't know?
Okay, do you want us to maybe like speed run? Like we could go back and forth on why. We could go back and forth on weird things that have happened that even caused people to look into this in the first place, or we could tell you what our theory is.
I want to hear what your guys' theory is, and then we can break down the why.
Okay, so this is called the exploding microphone theory.
That's what it's actually called? Did you guys dub that name, or is this...
No.
This is the This is after you've done the research. This is the theory you land on.
This is kind of just the name of the theory that everyone in this space has kind of adopted.
Okay.
They're titling their videos the exploding microphone theory. And we have not released a video on this, but let's see. Let's maybe like back and forth, really simplified for just normies, you know, reasons as to why we believe in the exploding microphone theory.
Okay.
What is the exploding microphone theory? What is it?
Charlie had a microphone under his shirt. He was also speaking on a microphone right here.
Okay.
But he had a mic, and he always does. He has a Rode mic.
It's called a Rode to go, Rode 2 to go or
it's
something.
like Rode, RODE is one of the most prominent.
Yeah, that's what we're using right over here.
Yeah, that's what we're using. I mean, not these, but
there are ones that just
Rode
clip
interface.
onto your
The
shirt.
little mics. Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
So he has multiple microphones that he uses, backup audio, whatever. So the theory is that the microphone was manipulated in a way to where maybe the battery was removed and replaced with a military-grade explosive device. And maybe it was supposed to explode in a manner that impacted his chest and caused bleeding from his chest. But instead, it malfunctioned. Oh, it was over here, sorry. It malfunctioned, and then a piece of the plastic shot him in the neck.
But these microphones, the shrapnel, correct. But these microphones, when they explode, it's not like a big explosion like you would think. It's a minor explosion, but it can cause internal damage to you that can kill you. And also the shrapnel is deadly as well. And a good example of this is when Israel infiltrated Hezbollah's pagers and walkie-talkies. It was a similar type of exploding device. So you remember that?
No,
When the Israeli government, this is known fact, they took control of the supply chain and the manufacturing of these walkie-talkies and pagers that were going to the Hezbollah terrorist members in Lebanon and Syria. This occurred. And they had them all detonate at the same time on September 17th, I believe, and on September 18th of 2024, I think.
Like over a year ago.
Yeah. And it killed the Hezbollah members, but it wasn't like a big explosion like you would think. It was just a small one that people from a distance wouldn't notice it exploding. It could cause like cardiac arrest. It could cause internal bleeding. It could cause brain trauma. But the shrapnel can also hit arteries and things like that. And if you see the footage in slow motion of Charlie when he gets shot, you can see black fragments in the air. And also when the wound occurs, you can see something falling out of him.
And it's not blood that you can see falling out of him. You can also see that. But
black-
it's a piece of black something.
And also in the car that Charlie was taken to the hospital in, Candace Owens released photos that she received. I'm not sure from who exactly, but these are factual photos that were from inside the car. There's pieces of black plastic fragment everywhere.
Inside the car.
From the inside of his shirt.
Yeah,
Maybe.
allegedly.
But for me, the big thing was the pieces of black flying through the air. When you slow down the video, you can see it. And that's not a giant cockroach floating through the air. No. It's like nothing moves that fast. And you can only see it when you slow the video down. And it has to be close-up footage in order to be able to see it. But it's from 4 different cameras that we've found where you can see the piece of black something flying through the air at high speeds.
Damn.
And they obviously have taken all of the graphic videos off of the internet. So people, unless you have them.
Did you guys save them?
Well, they're on X.
They're on X.
Well, some of them.
They're
A lot of
on
them are removed.
certain Instagram accounts as well. I do have one saved, so I'll show that to you after. You can't put that on this.
But
likely.
yeah, we've seen them multiple times. And we've looked into this theory a lot. But so there is a company called Accurate Energetic Systems, and it's in Tennessee, and they make these military grade devices. And a month, October 10th, they had a plant explode there, and it killed 16 people.
It was
and the
exactly
explosion,
1 month after Charlie was killed.
Yeah, Charlie was killed on September 10th. This plant exploded on October 10th.
That makes the explosive.
Yeah.
Wait, it was a month later, the plant that makes the little explosion.
Did you hear anything about this?
No.
Yeah, which is crazy because when 16 people are killed, no matter what it is, you would typically hear about it, right?
Yeah.
16 people were
Tennessee.
killed.
People in Tennessee didn't even know that this happened.
The
Because they,
plant in their state blew up.
yeah.
It was like 60
hush,
miles
hush.
outside of Nashville.
Yeah.
And it was the plant that made these explosives.
That make these type of weapons. And so
The whole
a
place
theory,
blew up?
they have multiple
it's wiped
plants.
off of it's a crater now.
Yeah.
Shit.
They have multiple plants within this company because it's kind of in the middle of nowhere in Tennessee. But this specific plant that was working on that type of military grade explosive blew up, and people were killed. Obviously, in theory, if this theory is true, the people that made that are dead, so they can't talk.
Or the people who knew about the team of Charlie, Butch Hibbs. Butch Hibbs was a part of Charlie's team. We don't have to dive deep into how he was a part of Charlie's team, but they would have been able to know his face. And there's flight data which shows him having flown to Tennessee days prior to the event.
Yeah.
Specifically a small airport, and like the rich person's airport, the private airport that you would fly to, not BNA, the public like Nashville International Airport. But this is so like, imagine hearing this for the first
You're
time.
like, okay, I regret having these girls in my closet. They're
know.
crazy.
Cuckoo.
But if you really look into it, you're like, this is probably the most likely theory.
And then the manager.
Oh yeah, but don't say his name. The manager of this specific plant quit a few days after Charlie was
unexpectedly
assassinated.
quit his job.
Really?
Why did this manager quit his job? He was making great money. He quit, I think it was 2 days after Charlie Kirk's assassination. Mm-hmm. So,
and then another podcaster that we're close with reached out to this manager, and he basically said to fuck off and not ask any questions.
Damn.
yeah.
Well, that's interesting that you guys say that because I remember seeing like a video on X, and it looks like his shirt puffs up.
Yeah,
That's a whole other part.
It does.
Yeah.
You slow it down, and it's very, very weird to see the mics on this side, and then like the shirt moves over here. You have to really slow the video down, and then the blood.
So that I'm so glad that you just brought that up because I'm like, there's so many other factors to this theory. So when you slow down the video, this guy named John Bray, he did this whole video about it, and the pixels are in different colors when you slow it down, and it shows the energy, right? And the energy, there is his shirt moves first, then his microphone moves and his necklace moves before he's even shot. How does that happen? Scientifically, that can't happen. It would be he was shot, then everything else would move because it'd be a reaction. But no, it's his shirt moves first, then the microphone, then the necklace moves, then he gets shot. How does that happen? And there's no exit wound. And there's no exit wound.
So the microphone exploded.
Okay, one more part to this theory. Sorry, there's actually 5 or 20 more parts to this theory, but Charlie's team, the people surrounding him in that very moment, they didn't touch him or do anything with his body for 8 seconds. And part of this theory is that they weren't expecting a neck wound. And they're like, what the fuck do we do now? His neck, like our entire plan is foiled, you know? So they're just like standing over him. Dan Flood, one of his security team, turns off his Ray-Ban glasses, the meta recording glasses. You can see that.
Had those meta glasses on.
And they're just kind of standing over him, passing things around and not touching his body. And then they finally pick up his body after 8 seconds. And it's part of that theory, I guess, falls into it is that they were maybe expecting for there to be a chest wound, and that would be much easier to cover up, right? But
It's not as visible.
it's
They were
kind of like,
expecting more like blood to come from here. It's like, oh, we'll shoot off the rifle on the roof. It'll make it seem like he got shot in the chest because, oh, blood here falls back. The sound of the gun, that will make sense to people. There doesn't need to be an exit wound. Like, you know, like we'll just. But then the shrapnel hit his neck and then it started pouring out like that. And so they were like, what do we say now? We got shot in the neck, but there's no exit wound. This doesn't make sense with the type of gun that we were going to say was the cause of his death. So that's why none of their story really lines up after, because everyone saw him get shot in the neck. But with that gun and everything, it just doesn't make sense. That's why everyone's questioning their story, and they had to make up, oh, there's no exit wound because he's the Man of Steel, and, you know, it was the God's miracle. There was no exit. It just, none of it adds up, and it's because they didn't anticipate for it to come from his neck.
oh, in Dallas, we could be talking about this for hours too, because then they take him to the hospital. There's all those pieces in the van, and then they go to the hospital, and while the shooter's still on the run, the feds go in and secure all of the camera footage in the hospital and make sure that no one has
seize all the
access to
footage.
that. They seize all the footage, and then the surgeon isn't allowed to go back in the room after he's pronounced dead. It's
To
just
fix him up for his wife, because they didn't want the surgeon to ask too many questions. But it's like, obviously the surgeon had to know something was up.
yeah, which HIPAA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have to keep it private because it's medical information.
Yeah. There's just so much. Like, this is just, we're just talking about the day of the shooting. But then if we look at everything that's happened afterwards and all the things that were happening prior, it's like we could be here for hours. We could be here for days talking about all of this.
Seems like it. You guys are freaking dialed on this information. Well, what was some of the stuff leading up to it that's off? Because we've talked about, like, I guess you said that it was 2 days prior, or was it 2 days after that manager quit?
2 days, yeah.
2
The
days
manager of Accurate Energetic Systems quit his job unexpectedly, no warning, 2 days after Charlie Kirk's assassination. So he's alive and well today because he wasn't there when the plant exploded. But
Roughly 2 days. I don't know. Like,
I think it was
days, yeah.
days after, but he's hard to get a hold of.
Damn. Yeah, freaking. I wonder how long he worked at that factory, and then he was like, peace out, a month before it blew up.
Yeah,
Great
I don't know.
question.
But then the whole, like, is the Israeli government doing that with the same type of devices, you know, a year before, and Charlie wanting to leave the pro-Israel cause.
The
There's
audit,
a lot.
8 days prior to Charlie's death, he released an internal statement to all of Turning Point saying, hey, there's going to be an audit because I need to see where the money's been going.
Well, they had an audit every year, as big companies do, but he specifically said, I kind of want to make my own Doge type of audit where I want to internally look at where money is coming in and out of, because there was all this money being funneled into Turning Point and then out. And Charlie was so busy, right? He couldn't manage the finances too, but he's like, this doesn't make sense. So I want to do my own personal audit, my own type of Doge thing within my own company. And that was 8 days before he died. Mm-hmm. And then after he died, Tyler Boyer canceled it.
They canceled the audit after he died. They also accepted all of the Israeli donations that he had declined, and basically everything going against his wishes. They were like, what did Charlie want? Let's do exactly the opposite.
Then they make up all this shit that, oh, Charlie had a journal. And in his journal, he said he wanted us to do this, 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 and this. And it's like, where's the journal? Can you show us? Like,
Yeah.
It's just,
We can look at the journal.
It's like, okay, we're just going to take Erica's word for it and his close friends within Turning Point that he had all of these plans for Turning Point.
That go against what he said publicly that we do have proof for.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's wild.
Wild. Absolutely fucking wild. I'm more scared of Israel than ever before.
Yeah, having us on your podcast is actually
Danger.
the most dangerous thing you've ever done.
Yeah.
It's even more dangerous than speaking to Asa.
Then who?
Murderer.
13-year-old
Oh, God. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, that dude was freaking wild. He wouldn't even eat with a knife because he was like scared that, I don't know, that he would like kill someone again or something. He'd just eat with
Okay.
he'd like eat with his hands every day.
He's like, I might kill you if I have
Yeah.
a knife.
It was freaky.
Multiple personalities in his head. But yeah, I don't know. That's why I didn't want to think that Erica was suspicious, but just every day it just keeps getting more and more and more like, okay. And Candace released this episode yesterday where there was like we were talking about the Zoom call and just the way she was talking, it was just, that's not how you would be speaking if your husband just got assassinated. Yeah. And then there's a whole military base.
Yeah, I was like, do we
Thing.
even go into Fort Huachuca? I don't.
Wait, what's Fort Shaka?
Fort Huachuca is a military base in Arizona, and there was a meeting there 2 days before. 2 days or the day before?
2 and 1.
Yeah.
Before.
A source that reached out to Candace Owens said that he was pretty sure that he saw Brian Harple, who was Charlie's head of security, and Erica Kirk at this military base 2 days before Charlie was assassinated. And there were apparently 12 lieutenant colonels there. And this guy, his name is Mitch Snow. Everyone kind of who's following the case knows who he is. Said that he went there for his own personal reasons because he used to be in the military. Then he was detained for over 7 hours because they thought he was a spy. And they're like, what are you doing here? Why are you here? Like, what do you know? And he's like, I'm here for my own reasons. I used to be in the military. But then he noticed all of these high up, like government officials there. Mm-hmm. And then he was like, oh, I think I saw Erica Kirk there. I think I saw Charlie's head of security there. Damn. Were they planning
Well, he actually
this?
said he was certain that he saw.
Yeah, he
Brian
said he was
Harple
certain
there.
that he saw Charlie's head of security there. And then that people tried to make up this guy's making this up. He wasn't even there. Then it comes out there's a case number about him being there and being detained. They called his son and said, hey, your dad's here. Like, what is he doing here? So there's all this factual proof that this guy was there that day. Mm-hmm. And they haven't been able to provide a valid alibi that they weren't there, Erica and Brian. Yeah. They gave like, oh, I had this flight booked, the day that I was there, so I wasn't there. It's like, oh, we could all book a flight to Texas, but we don't have to go.
I think it's safe to say, so this was within the world of the Charlie Kirk conspiracy theory. This was a whole dramatic thing for 2 weeks. Was this guy there at this military base or not? But when it all boils down to it, there was this guy who was at the military base the day before Charlie Kirk was assassinated, and he saw Erica Kirk and Charlie Kirk's head of security, and there were a bunch of lieutenant colonels there, and it was a huge meeting. The fact of the matter is he was there after all is said and done. So we'll just sum it up for you. And he saw everyone there, and they haven't come forward and said that they weren't there, or the alibis that they tried to release were very weird, and
they didn't prove anything.
They're trying to beat around the bush. And it's like, what was going on at that meeting? They were planning Charlie Kirk's assassination.
Allegedly.
While Charlie Kirk at that point was in South Korea, right?
Yeah.
Allegedly.
He was in Japan and South Korea.
Allegedly.
Well, he was in South Korea and Japan, but allegedly they were planning his assassination.
Yeah.
That's the theory, at least. But which would mean that if this is all true, this would mean that the Israeli government, our own government, and Turning Point, not everyone in the Israeli government and our government and Turning Point knew, but certain people within those different groups, some of those people were aware of this. Yeah. And that's fucked up because Charlie Kirk dedicated his whole life to getting our current administration elected. And if they were involved in this,
then they just killed
which
him.
is the question, why? Well, the question of Turning Point is Charlie Kirk was denying hundreds of millions of dollars from donors who are pro-Israel. And he said, no, I don't support that. And Andrew Colvett, who's his executive producer and supposed to be one of his best friends, literally told a family member who told Candace Owens, yeah, Andrew was acting really weird after Charlie died. And like, not in a like weird, sad way, more like he literally said verbatim, yeah, when Charlie denied, the 150 million or whatever plus dollars from Benjamin Netanyahu. I personally lost out on millions of dollars. Why are you personally getting millions of dollars from an Israeli donor? So all these people who are close to Charlie are like, oh, I'm going to make all this money.
Yeah.
And then Charlie goes, no, we're not doing that. It's a motive.
It's like, come on, they're not that bad. Like, da, da, da. Like, yeah, trying to get the fucking money.
Yeah. It's a huge motive.
Damn. So, Israel did it. The microphone blew up. Erica's a bitch.
She's a honeypot bitch.
A honeypot bitch? She's just in it for the money. She's CIA. Am I summing this up correctly? Did I learn something today?
You summed it up perfectly.
Okay.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Again,
Allegedly.
entertainment purposes only.
Allegedly.
Wow. Well, we covered a lot.
We did.
I think we should run this back and do another pod here in the next few months and get the updates. And
Yeah.
keep the viewers updated.
We'll have an organized chart of everything that needs to be known for the people who aren't keeping up with this. We'll have like summarized sentences, how we can get this information to people who really don't give a fuck or people who just haven't kept up with it at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we'll make them give a fuck.
Yeah.
We'll give them the information. Plus, I want to keep up with it. You guys have been awesome. Seriously, this has been one of my favorite pods. It's been super fun.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you guys seriously for coming out here. And yeah, I definitely would love to have you guys back really anytime. Once we get some, as we get some more developments in the Charlie Kirk case, we'll definitely have to have you guys back and dive back into this and keep the viewers updated.
Yeah, that'd be so fun.
So it's the Brandi and Billie show on YouTube, right? Anything else you want my viewers, my 110?
Brandi and Billie show.
Subscribe. Keep
Yeah.
up with these guys.
That's
They're
us right there.
yeah, it's been awesome.
Yeah, we're on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, X, Rumble.
All the things.
Yeah.
Amazing.
All of them.
Amazing. Well,
And
give
thanks
them
for
a
having
follow.
us.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been great. Make sure you guys give them a follow and thank you for watching and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Peace.